Hey, what's up, fam? Welcome to another episode of the King's Vibe Podcast. Today, we have another good one to give you. We will be talking about dealing with a negative situation. But just like always, I got with me DJ The Juice Man. I got Nikki two times. I got my man Peanut in the building. Hey, hopefully everybody had a good weekend. What's going on, gents? How y'all been?
Looking good, feeling good always.
Hey, I like that. What's up, Peanut?
I don't know. I feel like my family trying to take me out.
Man, so today we want to talk about dealing with a negative situation. Obviously, like we always say, people are still dealing with their demons. So obviously, you're gonna encounter a lot of negative situations, but how do you deal with it? I think we're probably going to start with, I don't think there's a need to explain what a negative situation is. It's it might be a little relative, negative for you might not be negative for me, but how does it normally start? I think that's where we're going to start it from.
I think negativity is is natural. It's like it can start from a bunch of ways, and I'm pretty sure I can give a gang of reasons, and Nick can give a whole different gang of reasons. So can DJ, so can you. But it's naturally occurring. So no matter what, even if you try to make sure that I'm not going to dip my hand in the negative pot and pass it around to everybody, somebody naturally is going to do it. Just because not everybody has complete self-mastery, and even those that feel like they do, they're going to hit a weak point, and that negativity is going to come out somehow. So that's how it occurs. Sometimes it just happens. There's a gang of reasons, but I don't want to dive into it. Y'all can. I just think it's a naturally occurring thing. We wouldn't even know what positive was if we didn't know what negative was.
Well, we could probably throw a couple of them out there, though. At least just to start it off.
Pessimism, jealousy, greediness, the seven deadly sins, basically. those things will bring up negativity like that easy.
Yeah, y'all both make valid points. I like how you open it up too. Like, you gotta confirm that it is negative. Like, something negative for me might not be negative for you. Right. So it's good just to ask that question. Hey, like, how do you feel about that, or how's that making you feel, or some kind of way? Just because you never know what other people are thinking. That's just something that I personally had to do because I'm not good with like communication in that way. So I always had to ask that question.
So you ask the people you're dealing with, or people who might be feeding, the negative vibes?
Yeah, negative vibes, or they might be down or something. If it's something that I feel like is negative, I'm going to address the situation head on because, happiness is the best policy, That's the goal. So what happens when you try to address it, but they don't see it as negative?
And then you got to... I don't mean to cut you off. Go ahead. You gotta let them know that, hey, look, man, like it may not be negative to you, and I get it, but remember, we're a team, and from a team aspect, some of your teammates don't agree with it, and they see it as negative. So if we can throttle back on that, know your audience, know who you can do what around, and just let them know that, like, I'm not trying to push what you feel down, and I'm not trying to push what they feel down either. So everybody has to know the audience.
Yeah, and I would definitely address that separately before you address it as a group. If you're dealing with a group.
And I like the way you put it too. A lot of people may not understand why you feel like whatever it is negative. They may say something that offends you that they don't even know they offended you because they've been around people that makes it okay to say certain things. You understand what I'm saying? And now it's like. Perfect example in our line of work. Some people don't ever see. They have not ever see certain things until they join our line of work, and then they got exposed to other stuff that they never been exposed to in life because they've been in their hometown, small town, and whatever, and what have you. And now they may say certain things around us. It's like, bro, you got to not take that back, but we got to check you on that.
Yeah, you got to watch watch what you say.
You got to watch what you say. So if you take the time to explain to the person why this thing's negative instead of just straight up getting pissed off, not knowing that, hey, maybe he didn't understand what he just said, you know? Or maybe the way he come across to you, he did not mean to put it out that way. Now you can confirm it and make sure that's what he or she was trying to say, and go from there. And as well as negative stuff that you receive from another person, if he affects you, you're the only person who's in control of that. So you can also dismiss like negative stuff coming from other people, not allowing that stuff to affect your life. Yes, of course you gotta address it, because somehow you're gonna think about it, but at the end of the day, you're the only one who have control over that.
Yeah, and I want to like rebuttal, like come against that a little bit, just to say, not all the time you have to address it. Like if it's something small, yeah, you can, maybe you can brush it off, maybe you can't. Don't let it eat you up, of course, but like it might not be worth your time. Like, you know what, I know this dude's that kind of way, I know he's that kind of person. Hey, just go on about your business, you know. You don't have to address it, create more conflict, create more trouble. Next thing you know, y'all both in handcuffs. And then situation.
That'll be a bad day.
Sometimes you can just make a mountain out of a molehill.
True.
So sometimes somebody can say something and it's like very little, and then you just like building it up. So for me, when stuff gets said, I like to pause real quick and I'm like, is this really how I feel? Or like, is what I'm feeling legit, or is it just me being in my feelings? And then I'll go ahead.
So what would you say if you were in your feelings? Like for somebody that's not used to doing something?
It depends. So I try for the most part to not be impulsive. But if somebody pushed that button and I did get impulsive, I'm going to think about what I did. And if I felt like it was unnecessary and I was just in my feelings, I'm going to go back to that individual. I'm going to let them know why I did what I did or said what I said. And I'm going to apologize for it and let them know that.
And
that's on me.
And that's very necessary for you to do that, because when you in a place of work and you're already in your feeling and somebody said the smallest thing to you, that can trigger you. So that can create something a lot bigger than it needs to be, of something small that person may be playing around or something, and they say something to you, but you were already pissed off of something else, and now that negativity become like 10 times bigger. So if you got something bothering you, most of the time you're in a workplace or public place or somewhere professional, take a walk, man. Like, just
that's exactly
calm down and come back, because it's better for you to already just get past whatever was going on 10 minutes ago and be on a better page. Like Peanut say, think about what you're about to say before you say it, man, because that might be the end of your career. Yeah. Never know. I
used to have a supervisor, and just a little side note, I used to have a supervisor who used to come in, he used to deliver the bad news and then walk right out. As soon as he come in, he'd deliver the bad news and walk out. He would develop a negative war right there in the work center, and then just not be around for us to confront it. So I would definitely say, like, know what you're doing and what situation and all the other good stuff. So
yeah. Well, so can I say that maybe to be in the negative situation, you have to put yourself in there, because we said it's relative, right? It is relative. It is you who has control over it. So you are the one who sees that way. So for it to even happen, you have to put yourself in that situation. If I'm going to look at it as not being negative, because you can always turn negative situations into positive, right? Mm-hmm. If I'm going to look at it as negative, then I'm letting it happen. I'm accepting that this is going to happen in a negative manner.
I like that.
Yes and no, because you can't control what come out of other people's mouth. But at the same time, I'm gonna have to give it to you with that. You don't necessarily have to always create negative situations, but you do have to accept your role in letting the negative situations carry on, right? So negative stuff happens. We all know it had whatever. But when you like, you know what, I'm going to just go full throttle on this. Yeah, man, that's on you. I get it. This did happen, but you chose to keep going. You chose to add to it. You chose to keep laying this negative foundation, laying these bricks on top of it. So, yes. I mean, I agree with you.
I mean, yes, you can't control what comes out of people's mouth, but you can actually control how you receive it.
Oh, yeah.
And what you do with it. because you're the only person who can choose how to react to whatever you received. So somebody can be out there trying to trigger you. So how you gonna react to it? How you gonna give that person that time of the day? 3-4 hours from now, when you get home, is this gonna be something that you worry about? You gotta ask yourself these questions. If that's not gonna affect your life the next day or a few hours from now, let it go. It's not worth your time. It's not worth your family time. It's not worth your job. The best thing that I've ever heard from like one of the senior guys: do what your job can handle, whatever.
Do what your rank can handle.
I wasn't gonna use that, but it's like. So
do what your pay can handle.
So it's like, whatever you're about to do, is it worth it?
Yeah.
Is it worth that argument? Is it worth you saying that stuff to that person? So you have to live life just like that, man.
Yeah.
And you'll have health wise, mental wise, everything it will be better because you're not worrying about the small stuff as much.
Yeah.
But not only is it worth it, what's going to benefit from it? So you got like, I like his idea. I think he said it the best because I was not always like that. I was always kind of like impulsive, and I had to kind of like learn that kind of trait. So he would always pause and all that other good stuff. And I would say that's a great technique. But a lot of the things too with everybody, what we're all talking about is you can't always rectify somebody else's. So I wouldn't try to go into a room that has a bad aura. If you don't think you can uplift it, don't jump into anybody else's mess. Just
and try to be the savior when you can't. Yeah. But I think one of my favorite quotes, other than what would be will surely be, que sera sera, is life is 90% what happens and 10% how you take it. All right?
I think you got to reverse.
Is it?
Life is 10% circumstance and 90% disposition. Yeah, because 10% is you can't control that 10%. But the only thing that you can control is you, which is your disposition. How do I feel about this? How do I react to this?
So how you feel is more.
Yeah.
Okay.
It should be more.
So 10 and 90. Yeah, but basically the bulk of how you feel is just on you. The bulk of how you take it, the reaction is all on you. You could take it as that. I mean, you see somebody yelling at another person and the person just standing there just smiling. Like, I mean, you don't think that this person doesn't realize that, he's being yelled at. He just decides to not take it that way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because can you stop people from creating negative vibes?
No,
that's true.
Probably not.
In my last line of work, where we would we would come in with 30 people at a time, and you have to prove yourself. Some of the 30 some people that I was with would just go bananas. They would go crazy. I hate this. I hate that. This is stupid. Yada, yada, yada. And I'm just like, I mean, I don't like what's going on and what I have to do that much either. But, I mean, one, I chose to do it. Two, until I quit, like, I'm going to do my best to make it what I want or get it from it, what I want to get from it. And it ended up paying off that way.
Yeah.
So it was just my disposition. Everybody was going through the same thing, but how they received it was different based on their perception.
Yeah. So I don't know if you were.
One of the stuff I was going to add to what he said, you can also create negativity for your own self too, because sometimes when you get into a situation that, that's not what I was expecting, and now you're creating problem for yourself. So one of the stuff people have to be careful with is, granted, that's not what you signed up for, but guess what? You already signed up for it. Yeah. So finish it.
You're already in this.
You're already in it.
Take ownership.
You take ownership of it and move on with your life.
That's why I got low expectations.
Yeah.
I got low expectations, but high hopes, baby.
Hey, you better than me. I have no expectations.
Okay.
Oh man,
because
I need to get there.
Because once you start having expectations, you let yourself into the atmosphere of disappointment. Because now I expect Nick to do better. Yeah. What if Nick doesn't do better? I'm gonna be disappointed.
People be doing that all the time. I'm so mad at these people. Like, for what? You can't control them. Like, whatever.
And it's so crazy because one of the things that really frustrates me with like people sometimes is like you expect that they know better, right? We expect because I know Peanut. If I go in the gym with Peanut, I expect that Peanut can lift. If Peanut comes in and is like, oh, I just want to do 135 today, it's like, Peanut, what you doing, man? Because I expect him to, right? Now, what if I go in the gym and I don't expect Peanut to do anything? He lifts 135, he's going to be like, whoa, that's a lot from zero, you know what I'm saying? So, just one of those things. But,
I mean, I feel like you should have expectations from things that you know, right? So, because you know me, you can expect, like, if this dude don't show up and show out, like, I'm gonna get in his ass. I'm gonna belittle him. I'm gonna make him. He's gonna feel some sort of way.
What if it's a bad day for you?
If it's a bad day, still as a friend, and this is just my take on it. If it's a bad day as a friend, I would be able to assess that immediately as soon as you walked in. Like, yo, something's up with Kusi. He ain't himself today, and I would ask you about it. Yeah. Right, and then depending on the conversation, no matter what the conversation was, at the end of it, I'm gonna end with, but you showed up here. Yeah, you ain't show up to work out.
Do better, fam.
Yeah, like, all right, like we got past it. We talked about it. Like now is the time to do what we came to do.
Yeah,
So from people that you should have expectations. So like Nick, if Nick was one day he just turned into a bum, I would be like, dude, stop. That's not you. All right, but for people that I don't know that just show up, I'm gonna have low expectations.
So if I think we all can agree to the fact that nobody really likes negative vibes. It happens. It is what it is. It's part of life, but nobody likes it, right? Mm-hmm. But there's a lot of people that just stick with it and just wait for it to just play all the way out, right? Yeah. They have the control to stop it at one point. A lot of people don't. They just let it play out. But if we are realizing that it's not good, why do we let it play out?
Because we're weak.
That could be a reason, or it's spontaneous. It comes out of the blue, and you didn't expect it, and now you don't know how to react.
Or
playoff plans or defenses.
It's a learned behavior. Maybe their mom or their dad or their sister or people that they were raised around. It just was the norm to just let things happen and cry about it. I mean, maybe weak is a bad word, but whatever. I'll use it. But maybe it's the norm for them. I'm not that way simply because my dad was like, nope, not today. I don't want to hear that. Like, he would beat me into submission, man. like he would just make me do things that I didn't want to do. But if it was the best thing to do, if it was the right thing to do, he would not hold no punches. Like, did I say do this? Yeah. So what that showed me was that no matter what, if this is the right thing to do or this is the best thing to do, then ain't nobody got time for tears. Suck it up, buttercup.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah, get it done. But and so letting the negative things happen could be a learned behavior. Like I said, people around them just kind of coddle them or make them things happen, and things do happen, but they just let them stay down. Like, hopefully things will get better. Pray about it. Like, bro, you don't pray and do nothing. You're supposed to pray and work or whatever. But that's all I got.
It's crazy that you say that, man. Like, I was watching a documentary like not too long ago. I think it was like a few weeks ago, where nowadays, when I was growing up, if you lose, you lose. You don't get a trophy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't get a trophy nowadays. Like, every kid gets a trophy. Like, what are we teaching our kids?
Mediocrity.
Is that the new? When I was growing up, that's no. You gotta earn that sucker. You know what I mean? So, people nowadays, most people are not able to confront their problem with other people because it's like, I don't want to create conflict with this dude or this girl, whatever.
It may not even be other people. It may just be themselves.
Exactly. They don't want to address these things because it's like you say, I'm not calling them weak, but that's like a weak part.
Yeah, it's a weak trait.
A weak trait to actually have. Like if there's something bothering you and something that you have to address, be that female, be that male to be able to just hit that thing head on. Because if you don't, guess what? It's gonna come back tomorrow, the next day, and the day after until you address it.
Let me ask you a question. Let's get out of work and all this other stuff. Let's say you're out of work, you already dealt with all that stuff, you're all stressed out coming home. How do you deal with the toxic people in your life now that we branched off a little bit in that sense? Like, let's say you just have somebody that's always negative in your life, and maybe it's a friend or a family friend, or maybe if it's even family. Like, what do you do in those situations with somebody just toxic, either coming down on you or hitting on your goals or whatever?
Me personally, I part way with these people all the time.
Cut them off.
Cut them off.
If you can afford to, cut them off.
What if you can't afford to?
If you
Have
can't
that conversation.
if you can't afford to, keep having that conversation with them. If that person is not your kid, your wife, I don't care if they're a cousin or a brother, I'm cutting you off. I'm sorry. It's just the way I operate, because I don't have time for negativity that's coming from somebody that I don't have to, excuse my language, sleep with or pay for 18 years of their life. I'm sorry.
Or
you gotta
I'm not
go.
getting a paycheck from you.
Yeah.
Then,
So the way I think about it, well, one, I politely cut people off, aka I just stopped talking to them. Like, what happened with him?
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, I ghost people.
Happy birthday.
Yeah.
That's two things that I may have to do with you if you're a brother or a cousin.
Yeah, so I just stopped talking to people. But the thing is, people close to you, which that's a good question, right? Because sometimes we all get in our little moods or modes. I do it. Everybody does it.
We're human.
So so what I do, say like my wife is doing it, right? I'll just tell her straight up, like, hey man, I don't know what's up with you right now, but you are being mighty negative, and here's why I think this, and I'll give her all these reasons. And then, of course, nobody wants to hear that they're doing bad, so she'll counteract, and I'm like, nah, I'm right. Just take it. Like, you lost. But when the shoe's on the other foot, she'll do the same thing. I don't know what's up with you, but you were doing too much. Like, and obviously, I want to get defensive, like, blah, blah, blah. No, I'm not. And then I think about it. I'm like, I'm being negative right now. I'm in my bag.
How you say that. If you're ever the receiver of that conversation, just listen, because that's something that was hard for me. I would always get defensive and want to talk about it, and then that's something I just learned is like it's just easier to just listen for a little bit, and then understand what's going on with the situation around you that maybe even you created, and it might not. It might not even be as bad as you thought it was. And
in layman's terms, what people don't know, what listen means is shut up.
Yeah.
Listen, Linda.
Just shut up.
Listen.
Yeah, listen, Linda.
It's crazy that you say that. Like, I don't know. Yep. Well, we all marry in here, man. Sometimes we have some dumb freaking argument that we didn't need to have. That and 4 hours down the line, it's like, I should have just shut up, man. It's like that would have saved me 3 weeks of my life if I just shut up and just listened to what she had to say, because she was right, but you could be vice versa, but you didn't get the time to listen because you were in your feelings. You were mad, so that cost you 3 weeks of your life, not just in the doghouse. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, I'm actually I'm happy you brought that up, because this is gonna lead us into our next video, which you're gonna catch. But in our next video, we're gonna talk about how to turn a negative situation or environment into a positive one, because I think eventually that's what you want to do, right? Yes, that's sit through a negative environment or through a negative situation only because you want to learn something. I think that should be the only reason you would have to stick through a negative situation. But eventually what you want to do is you want to turn it around and make it positive. But in our next video, we're gonna break that down and discuss how we're gonna do that. But before we go, like we always do, we're gonna take the parting words from our people. We're gonna take it.
Before there was darkness, or before there was light, there was darkness. Remember that?
I like that.
It's always there. You wouldn't even know light exists if it wasn't for the negative.
Facts.
That's all I got.
Ships float whenever they have a hole in them. They let the water in and they sink, right? Don't let what's coming inside of you get inside of you and weigh you down. Confront it. Bring it on head on first. That's all I got.
Hey, be able to go to life, being able to confront your problem, man, head on, regardless of what it is. If he's gonna create enemies or friends.
You'll find out. Yeah, you'll find out.
You'll find out, man. Like those who are your friends, they will stick around. Your foes, they'll be leaving your life.
They'll be gone.
I bet you it's gonna be for the best.
Sweet. Well, at the end of the day, if you cannot learn anything from a negative situation, you should not be in it. That's what I would say. But thank you very much for sticking around, and please make sure you like, share, subscribe, comment on our YouTube so we can bring you more. We actually have a whole lot more videos coming in, and like I said, there's one more video continuation of this one where we're gonna break down how you turn around in negative situations. But I've had with me DJ the Juice Man. I've had Nikki two times.
Two times.
And I had Peanut. Until next time, take care. We'll see you.